Welcome back to KTN Prime. Thank you for staying with us. As hinted a little bit earlier, it's now time for the studio conversation with none other than the Cabinet Secretary in charge of Public Service, Human Capital Development and Special Programs, none other than Geoffrey Ruku, who's already in studio, joins us. He is on time as always. CS Karibu Sana, thank you so much for honoring us.
Thank you.
I know you're quite busy, and perhaps we can start from that particular note. You were appointed in April just this year. It's been 4 months and some change into your leadership at the public service docket. How is the docket treating you so far? How are the things going?
Thank you so much for this show. First of all, is to say it's a very, incredible opportunity, or they are quite different from the previous law, which I was playing at the National Assembly as a representative of the people of Beira North, and at the moment serving the people of the Republic of Kenya as a minister in charge of public service, human capital development, and special program. But it's an opportunity which I am taking it as a great privilege to serve the people of Kenya of all walks of life without fear, without favor, and doing my best as far as the docket is concerned. So it has been an incredible opportunity, and so far so good.
So far so good.
Yes.
Well, you hit the ground running, and of course this is due to the public sector being a key component in terms of government development and delivery, and your ministry is at the heart of ensuring that, it serves Kenyans effectively. And we've seen a lot of changes and proposals ever since you came to the helm, and we just want to ask some of these questions. And perhaps you can begin with the civil servants who have been habitual have been actually late to the office, habitual absenteeism, and we saw you having unannounced visits to government offices across the country. Let's begin on that particular note, because you've talked a lot about the digital application to monitor productivity and punctuality when it comes to the civil service. What's the timeline for this rollout of this particular digital application, and how will it work without creating a culture of micromanagement and surveillance?
First of all, let me put it into context.
Yes.
When you are given a responsibility, you as an individual, to feed someone who can't be able to see. You are feeding someone but who cannot be able to see. For that person to be sure you are not eating his or her food, you must keep whistling all the time. You are feeding him or her. Why? Because you can't be able to eat and whistle at the same time. Are we together up to that point?
Yeah, so far.
So, for the people of the Republic of Kenya to be sure that we are indeed, as a government of William Samoei Ruto, we are committed to serve them diligently, we have to push the public servants of all the ministries, of all the commissions, of all the parastatals to be at their workstation at the right time. The people of the Republic of Kenya must see those who are in charge, those they have given that responsibility, overseeing their public affairs, pushing the people who are supposed to work in the right direction. So myself, as a Minister of Public Service, I have to put effort, I have to be committed in ensuring that the people of the Republic of Kenya, they know on a day-to-day basis that indeed the government of President William Ruto is committed in ensuring that the government workers are serving their interest. So that's point number one.
Okay.
Why I wake up very early in the morning, go to Nakuru, go to Mombasa, go to Nyeri and other places to check whether those who have a responsibility to serve the people, especially the services which are citizen-facing, are there at the right time. to serve them. Because we have so many services rendered by government which are citizen-facing, that someone must be sitting somewhere and the Kenyan must come and talk to whoever is charged with the responsibility of carrying out a certain government task. For instance, a police station. There is no way we can do, you have to report to a police station. The police must take actions. So there are some issues which you have to go to a police station. But at the same time, we have to know how to ensure there's some efficiency in issues concerning the police.
Okay.
I'm just giving an example. We may be having citizens who want guidance and counseling because of different problems. And government is offering guidance and counseling services. You can't have guidance and counseling services online. Sometimes, yes, but in most cases, you need physical, one-on-one. So we need someone who is in charge of guidance and counseling to be seated at the Huduma Center at the required time to guide whoever needs guidance and counseling because of the issues which we are facing on a day-to-day basis. So as a minister who is in charge of the public service, I have a responsibility to tell Kenyans, we are committed. The government of William Samoei Ruto is committed. And by the way, this is the instructions from the president. President gave me a job. I have a wrong appointment letter.
Okay.
I have an oath of office, which I committed to, which I appended my signature. I have to do as per that oath of office and as per the requirement of my appointment letter and as per the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya.
Okay.
Because also the Constitution talks about the cabinet. And it is typically the function of a cabinet and the expectation of a cabinet secretary.
Yes, yes.
So what I'm only doing is stipulated in the Constitution, is stipulated in the instruments which I signed, one of them oath of office, the other one appointment letter. I was given a Constitution when I assumed the office. And if you look at Article 10 of our Constitution, if you look at Article 232 of our Constitution, which talks about the principles and values of public service, you will see the commitment is required, transparency is required, timeliness is required, equity is required as principles and values of public service. So basically, this is the context. I wanted to put that into context.
It's clear.
That Kenyans should understand and should know every single minute the minister in charge, the government of William Ruto, and I'm representing the president, that the president is there to ensure all government workers, all employees who are paid using taxpayers' money are committed to deliver service to the public.
So has there been a mindset shift ever since you started this and announced visits across government offices? Has there been improvement?
I'm not sure, but this is something which we can test, whether it has been a shift. But I know I have heard from quite a number of agencies, not even the ministry agencies. Some of my friends who work in universities, other in parastatos. These days I say, you guys, you must be in the office early enough. You don't know when Ruku is visiting us. You know? So let's all of us have that attitude of ensuring that we are committed to the work we have been given. You know, the responsibilities which you have been given at the workstation, we are committed.
So what does this digital application aim to do? What's the timeline of its rollout? Talk to us about it briefly.
What we, you know, at the moment, the government of Kenya, through the President William Ruto, it has digitized more than 23,000 government services, which are digital, which you can be able to access those services through e-citizen at the moment. So at that front, government is putting a lot of effort. But we, as a government, we still don't have a platform where we can be able to tell with sanctity that this number of employees in agencies, in ministries, and different departments, government departments, are on leave at any given time. That this number of employees in different agencies, even county government, are on standby leave, or they are in training in Naivasha or in Mombasa or in other places. As a minister in charge of public service, I should be in a position to tell Kenyans, because they have entrusted me with that responsibility through the appointment of His Excellency President William Ruto, to tell them that today we have this number of employees who are in different trainings. Some of them in different universities across the globe, others in locally training. I should be able to tell Kenyans that indeed today, those who are on sick leave across the government, both county and national government, are this number of employees. Those who have retired today, I should be able to tell at any given time. So we must come up with a platform, digital platform, which can be able to tell us this, a dashboard which can be able to tell us this at any given moment with accuracy. Okay. So this is what we are trying to develop. We have a team which is working on it. We would want to pilot it, to test it by the end of month of October. Okay, by the end of October, there will be a prototype to see whether it meets the needs. So once we have something, then which can work, we'll take it to the cabinet through a memo and say, the cabinet, that this is what we can be able to manage our public service employees. All right. And if the cabinet approves, if it works, if it is something which is revolutionary, if it's something which is transformative, then it is adopted and it is implemented.
Okay. So
if there is an objection, then it will not be implemented. But it's something which, as the minister in charge, as person entrusted with that docket, I feel the output of the employees in the public service is something which is needed at the moment, so that we can eliminate so many issues of people. We can have very clever individuals who can be on training all through because of things we call per diem. They are traveling from one corner to the other. Someone will never be in the office. So that we can be able to trace some of these things and be able to manage the output of all government employees. So that Kenyans can get the return of their investment.
So it's an accountability mechanism.
Yes.
It's not really to do with surveillance or micromanaging.
No.
Okay,
it's
that's
not
proper.
micromanaging.
Yes.
It's not surveillance. It is about Kenyans getting value of their money. That is what the President of the Republic wants. Kenyans must get value of their money in whatever, whether in procurement. The other day President was in CIA saying all the cartels which have been fighting, making money in procurement, is going to fight it through e-procurement and is committed to that. If you are working with government and you don't want to be accountable to what you are doing on a day-to-day basis, this platform will catch up with you before the end of this year.
Interesting.
We have to be accountable to the people of the Republic of Kenya.
And in the spirit of accountability, I have to ask you this, CS, because a couple of Kenyans, and I'm sure you might have heard of this, complain about the slow pace of government services and some of the bureaucratic hurdles they face when trying to access some of these services. So you've been on record mentioning that there needs to be a shift in attitude, and perhaps it begs the question, the practical steps that are being taken to ensure that there's a practical mindset change among civil servants, that we shift from a culture of bureaucracy and red tape to a culture of efficiency and customer centricity. Talk to us about this.
That is an extremely important topic. At the moment, as a ministry, we are working on public sector transformation policy, which I will be presenting to the cabinet in the coming days. Because we have a public sector policy which has been there for more than 23 years, from the time President Kibaki was in power, came into power. The kind of public sector policy which we have at the moment started getting developed and enriched then. But now, Kenya is faced by a very different situation from the time President Kibaki was in power. The mean age of Kenya today is 22 years. Young people who are very well educated, agile, restless, who want information at the comfort of wherever they are. These are the Kenyans who we are talking about. And we have to serve, this government has to serve restless young people, very well educated, very well networked, who understand what is happening in other countries across the globe. Yeah. So therefore, we must have a public sector policy which addresses the concerns of the mean age of the Republic of Kenya, which is 22 years. So we are working on a public sector transformation policy which will take care of all these issues of efficiency in government, seeing that we can have a unified digital government, which can be able to bring all the government services as a central point. At the moment, if you want to get police clearance certificate, good conduct certificate, you have to walk, you have to drive to somewhere and get your fingerprint all the time, every year. Okay? Is it possible to have fingerprints stored somewhere and once and for all, and you not be required again and again and again? At the moment, for you to do an application in government institutions, you require to attach your certificates and attach quite a number of other documents. Are they necessary? Can the government institutions talk to each other digitally? We have today a digital platform which is carrying a universal health care at the moment. Yeah. That you don't want to, you don't need to have so many points where for your ability to be paid, you don't need to walk into so many counters from one counter to the other for your ability to be paid. So it's the same case. We only need your ID to key in your ID or your whatever it is, yes. And you'll be able to know whether you graduated in high school, whether you graduated in a university, okay, whether you went to another institution. So you don't need to carry all your certificates. We will eliminate the issue of fake certificates. We have a lot of issues of fake certificates at the moment. We have another issue of people lying about their age. Someone who is supposed to retire at the age of 60, but he changed some date of birth. Yes. He's actually retiring at the age of 67. Okay? So we need to have an efficient public service. We need to have a public sector policy which is taking care of the needs of the young people of the Republic of Kenya, because the average age of Kenya is 22 years. So we need to cut it well. We need to address the concerns of the young people. Okay. And the concerns of the young people, they need services at the comfort of their mobile phone. Simple. So simple, clear, straight, no many bureaucracies. So we have to see how that is going to be achieved at the same time, maintaining integrity, ensuring the security of the data is secured, because we are talking about national security, all these other issues, because also we can have serious cyber attack from the foreign agencies. So all these weave together to serve the interests of young people in the most efficient, transparent manner. Okay. And this is going to be achieved.
Okay, well, we'll be waiting for that policy to be launched once Cabinet has cleared it. And we'll continue with this conversation right after this break. In studio, we still have the CS for Public Service, Geoffrey Ruku. As we come back, we'll be posing questions to him about the harmonization of salaries for civil servants, which is a key concern. And not just that, matters to do with Huduma centers, which aim to bring government services closer to the people, perhaps an expansion plan on this, even as we delve into the other dockets that touch on special programs still under his portfolio. Stay with us. You're watching KTN Prime. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with KTN Prime. We continue with our deliberations right here in studio. I'm joined by the Cabinet Secretary in charge of Public Service, Human Capital Development and Special Programs, Geoffrey Ruku. And right before the break, he had broken down some of the interventions the government is taking to ensure they digitize government services and to ensure that the public service is alive to the challenges and the realities of the 21st century. Let's continue with the conversation, CS. Thanks for your patience. And right now, we'd like to talk about this matter to do with motivating civil servants through harmonization of salaries. It's been a sore issue over time, not just when you are in charge of the docket, but this issue of unequal pay across different government departments and parastatals is long-standing. What is the current status of the plan to address these pay disparities, and how will the process be managed to avoid ripple effects of industrial action from various cadres? Yeah.
Another very good question. That is one of the very difficult topics which we have as a ministry because there is quite a huge disparity across public servants. People with the same qualification, working in a certain parastatal, earning very different salary from this other who is working, let's say, with the Ministry of Agriculture. Mm-hmm. Same qualification, more or less almost the same responsibilities, but salary is a bit different.
Yeah.
The challenge which we have as a government at the moment, and this is something which the President of the Republic of Kenya keeps on addressing again and again, is the issue to do with the revenue of the Republic of Kenya. For the disparities to be addressed, we need an addition of 84 billion Kenya shilling every financial year. To get an allocation for 84 billion Kenya shilling is not a walk in the park. Because this year, the government and to cut not less than 150 billion Kenya shilling from very vital services which are required by the people of Kenya to align the budget, to be with it, to maintain the fiscal deficit below 5% of the GDP. Okay? So cutting 150 billion is one of the most difficult jobs you can be given in the executive because every requirement in the budget is needed. So what we need to address as Kenyans is how do we raise our revenues as a government, as a nation, so that we can take care of all other services which the people of Kenya requires, and at the same time ensure those who are not well remunerated are getting their fair pay. So that's an issue which we need to address together as Kenyans. And when the president is saying we need to expand our tax base, that's the truth. We need to expand our tax base. One of the ways of expanding our tax base is ensuring that the tax administration is properly taken care of. We have the institutions which are there at the moment, and we know other ministries are putting a lot of effort to that end. I know my colleague in the Treasury is putting serious effort to ensure there is no tax leakages. You know, a lot of tax revenue getting lost in the process of tax administration, so that we can consolidate that and be able to get enough resources to take care of salaries or compensation, harmonizing the salaries. Okay.
So until you get an increment in terms of allocation, right now your hands are tied.
Our hands are not completely tied, because if you look at the teachers the other day, the government honored the CBA, the collective bargaining agreement for the teachers. Their salary was increased. If you look at the doctors and nurses, we are also on the same direction. At the moment, I am in discussion with civil servant, civil servant union at the moment, which is led by Honorable Tom Ondege and other officials. We are in negotiation to see how we can get it right. But the government is completely constrained in terms of getting resources which we can take in that direction. But effort to ensure public servants are well remunerated, it is there on a day-to-day basis. That's why you can see government is committing to pay teachers well, to pay doctors well, and we are also committing to pay the civil servant working the ministries well. That is a commitment which the President of the Republic is working very hard to ensure, under very difficult circumstances, to ensure we are going on that direction. And for your information, Labor Day of this year at Uhuru Garden, the President gave instruction to the Minister of Labor to ensure the salary increment, the wage increment in the previous last year Labor Day, that everybody is salaries are increased as per the previous year wage increment. So this is something which the government is committed to do. But we need to come up with a proper way. We need to balance the revenues vis-a-vis government responsibilities, which are quite huge, so that we can have enough resources to increase the salaries in the most, to harmonize the salaries in the most appropriate way. If we can be able to get the reform, for instance, the tax tribunal holds more than 500 billion in tax disputes. If you were to push this and get only a half, 200 billion Kenya shilling, it will be good. It will be good to go. It will be enough for taking care of what we need.
Interesting. So it's work in progress. Perhaps we'll definitely see some work put in as we continue with this administration. Let's talk about matters to do with NYS, because it's still under your portfolio. And we've seen various transformation across the years, and it's well known that NYS is critical in terms of the role it plays in youth empowerment and national development. The president recently announced an increase in terms of the recruitment from the current number, I think it's 4,000 to roughly 10,000 NYS recruits over the next 3 years. He equally hinted at roughly, I think, 4,000 NYS graduates will be absorbed into the National Police Service. Speak to us about the reform programs at the NYS to ensure that, relevant skills and opportunities are aligned with the current job market and the national economic agenda.
Very important topic. President of Kenya has committed himself to transforming National Youth Service. National Youth Service, by the end of this year, will never be the same again. One, January next year, NYS will recruit 40,000 young people in the Republic of Kenya who will be trained in paramilitary training, who will be trained in national service, and who will be taken to 22 vocational training centers across the Republic of Kenya. The President of Kenya has committed to increase the vocational training centers, the TVET, for the National Youth Service. The President of Kenya has committed to new equipment for the National Youth Service. At the moment, National Youth Service has procured 20 tractors, excavators, so that National Youth Service can be used in the affordable housing program and also in cleaning of Nairobi River, okay, and other national duties across the Republic of Kenya. These 20 tippers and 20 excavators are on their way coming. And that is through the leadership of the President. The President of the Republic of Kenya has committed to ensuring there is National Youth Service Enterprise Limited. And that is something which is going to be actualized this week through President leadership. Okay? All the necessary documentation for registration of National Youth Enterprise Limited to commercialize National Youth Service services so that it can be self-sustaining, so that National Youth Service can stop the business of getting exchequer money year in, year out. By this week, we'll be starting the process of getting the place, National Youth Enterprise Limited, which will be income-generating activity in terms of engineering, in terms of construction, in terms of security, in terms of hospitality, textile, and many other services.
Okay.
So we are going the right way in making National Youth Service the one-stop shop for the training of young people in the Republic of Kenya. So next year, January is 40,000. After next year, by 2028, January, we want to recruit 100,000 young people at a go to join National Youth Service. If you go to Girigiri at the moment, the process of constructing the hostels accommodation for the extra 20,000 to make it 40,000 is ongoing at the moment.
Okay.
All this is through the leadership of His Excellency the President in transforming, in ensuring that the young people of the Republic of Kenya, those who are in different corners in our villages, are more trained by the government, and also National Youth Service, through the leadership of His Excellency the President, is becoming more innovative in terms of raising money to sustain itself and run its activities.
And to ensure this NYS talent, because they have been trained,
Yes.
is retained maybe at the government level, so there'll be an increase in uptake as well?
Yes.
Okay.
This week, last week on Thursday, President gave instructions, issued an instruction to the Minister of Interior that out of the 10,000 police recruits which will be done, 4,000 will come from National Youth Service.
Okay.
That's a great milestone for the young people of the Republic of Kenya, those who have gone through the National Youth Service
training.
And it's an extremely strategic institution, because patriotism, which is instilled during this training, is another level.
Okay.
So we want as many young people as possible by the year 2028 moving forward to be over 100,000. And actually, and I'm sure you're going to get it right as far as commercialization is possible, we are likely by the year 2028, we will not be talking about 100,000 young people joining NYS. We'll probably be talking about 200,000 young people joining NYS. Why am I saying this? President William Ruto thought that within 3 years, he will employ 100,000, within 5 years, he will employ 100,000 teachers. But within 3 years, by January this year, President will have employed 100,000 teachers. And the plan was to employ 100,000 teachers within 5 years.
Okay.
You get it?
All
so
right.
I'm saying this.
Yeah.
And this is, we'll be talking about it in the year 2028.
Yeah.
We will have taken more than 100,000 young people training in NYS in 2028.
Okay, in just 2 minutes or so, we have to talk about Huduma centers, because they significantly have improved access to government services across the country, more of bringing or decentralizing government services and bringing them mashinani. Talk to us about the ministry's plan or strategy to expand? Because we don't have physical Huduma centers in every part of the country. What's a plan to extend or to expand them, particularly in rural and marginalized areas? Briefly.
Extremely important point. We have 58 Huduma centers at the moment in the Republic of Kenya. We have more than 290 sub-counties. We have 280 constituencies. The government wants to have at least one Huduma center in every constituency in the Republic of Kenya, so that the services of government can be as close as possible to the people. What we have done at the moment, we are continuing to increase the allocation for building and equipping Huduma centers. Where we can build, we build. Where we can have a collaboration with the members of parliament, they build, then the government installs computers and other necessary infrastructure for Huduma Center, we do it. So it's a mix between government building Huduma Center, as we are doing at the moment in Runyenjes and other constituencies, and equipping, as we did in a place called Mogotio constituency, Mogotio town, where the member of parliament there did come up with a building. Then Huduma Center, the Ministry of Public Service, went there to install the computers and other necessary facilities to make it a Huduma Center. So that's a two-way approach of ensuring we are moving at the required pace. But what we are asking other MDAs, that is ministry, department and government agencies, those that have citizen-facing services, to ensure their services are available in these Huduma centers. At the moment, we have about 48 services in Huduma centers, whereas we have more than 300 MDAs which have citizen-facing services. So we are asking these MDAs to ensure their services are available at the Huduma centers. So it's a work in progress, but we are pushing. We are pushing very much.
Let's talk about something that still falls in your docket, and people might not know, but special programs is still under your ministry, and the country has been facing recurring natural disasters. Talk about droughts, floods, you name it. And the special programs component of your ministry's mandate is quite vital in terms of addressing the challenges brought forth by such issues. So is there a robust plan for disaster preparedness? Because response is very important. And what are the proactive measures, especially? Because it's not just about reacting. We have to be proactive about some of these challenges that come, be it natural disasters and whatnot, especially when you're trying to reach the most vulnerable. Talk to us about the aid.
The most special thing with President William Ruto, I don't know whether the right special is the right one, but very unique thing is not only government doing what all these are required to be done by a government, providing security, building roads, hospitals, and all this, the human face of the government services is what the President William Ruto and his government is putting across through the State Department of Special Program to ensure any Kenyan citizen in any corner of this country who is facing some disaster, calamity, may it be anger, may it be flood, fire, natural calamity, whatever it is, that president and his government is there at the right time, first of all, to comfort them, to sympathize with them, and to give the human face of the government services by offering relief. Because you can be in hospital and you can stay there getting the best medical attention, but nobody will come and see you in a hospital bed. You are getting the best medical attention, you have the best hospital facilities, but nobody, no relative, no one is coming to say, we are sorry, we are here to start with you. You will be in a lot of anguish, mentally. It's the same thing that the President of the Republic of Kenya has set a State Department. When in case of fire, the State Department is there, first of all, to say, we are sorry as a government for what you are going through. And because of that, we are going to provide an immediate relief on the most needed things at the moment. You know, that shows how the president has the heart to stand with the people. And when you see the president building a church, going to the church every day, he mean it. He seriously mean it.
Okay.
Because people are facing difficult circumstances. I have been in most of very difficult places in this city, in slums, in Kipira, in Mkuru kwa Jenga. The other day I was here in Mbakasi where there was fire.
I remember seeing you.
I have been in El Moro, in Masa Petrongoyani, where a school has been submerged in lake, and many other corners of this country. And I am there under the command of the president to go and tell the people that his government is standing with them.
Okay.
His government is offering the relief services at the most needed time to say the government is there, is standing with you, and we are going to get you out of this. So basically that is what we are doing as a State Department, but also ensuring there's proper preparedness. In case of any emergency, government of William Ruto is properly prepared, is committed that there's no Kenyan who will die because of anger, because of France, because of other disasters. His government is fully prepared to to be there at the right time in case of emergencies, and ensuring there is coordination and preparedness, and communicating to people, training people that in the case of France, we need to do 1, 2, 3. In the case of fire, we need to do this and that, so that we can ensure there's no loss of life out of these calamities. And we are lucky. Most of these calamities or disasters, not all of them are resorting to loss of life, because the cardinal responsibility of any government, and this is what the president is ensuring, is that his government is protecting life and protecting properties.
Okay.
And where properties are lost, he is trying to ensure that there is compensation to a greater extent. And that's why he has set up a commission, a workforce, to ensure the government is going to compensate all those who have lost their lives, all those who have lost their property in violent demonstrations, which are caused by anarchists, by very terrible people who should not be given any space in the leadership of this nation.
Interesting. Is matters to do with performance contracting under your ministry?
Yes.
How's the progress of that? Just briefly, are we seeing improvement in terms of accountability? Is there a new approach to performance management that will be more impactful and meaningful? What's the plan?
Performance contracting is given to at the end of public service office, which is not the purview of public service. Before, it used to be in the Ministry of Public Service, but through the Executive Order number 1 of 2025, that role is squarely under the end of public service, end of public service at the moment. And there's a gentleman called Owaro who is in charge of that. He is the special advisor under the, not special advisor, he's deputy, I think deputy end of public service. I need to get it right.
Title,
I need to get it right. But he's in charge of performance contracting under the Office of the Head of Public Service, which is under the presidency.
All right, thanks for that clarification.
But still, is pushing and going in the right way. Yes.
Okay. I have to ask you this because cabinet secretaries have been accused of prioritizing electoral politics over policy implementation. Despite there being a thin line between, politics and policy, as they say, the line has been crossed by a couple of cabinet secretaries, yourself included, by the way. You've been on record, perhaps, campaigning for this administration, be it in your former constituency, which is facing a by-election. Well, what do you have to say about this? Why is it so hard for cabinet secretaries to steer off politics?
Let me ask you, from the time I joined this show, all the policy issues which you have asked me, have I not articulated the policy issues with precision on what the minister is doing?
But that's not the question. Why politic then?
That's number one. Number two, any government in the world is politically formed. Any government, including this government, it is politically formed. It is President William Ruto who went around the Republic of Kenya campaigning, doing politics, and he was given the mandate by the people of Kenya to
govern
the country. And if you remember my opening statement, I said, and I don't want to be taken out of context, I said, because these are saying in my community, and I'm trying to put it in English. I can say it in my language, okay? I say, if you are given a responsibility of feeding someone who can't be able to see, and that someone who can't be able to see has some issues, he thinks that, no, this guy has been eating my food every day. For him to be sure, for you to make him to be sure that you have not been eating his food, the only way is for you to whistle all the time you are feeding him. You understand? So we can be in offices every morning to evening and we don't go anywhere. 8 to 5, then we go back home. How will Kenyans know that we are doing the right thing in those offices? So we have to keep again and again telling Kenyans what we are doing in those offices. And we don't do it when we are seated in those offices. We do it in the field. The centrality of our constitution is public participation. As a minister, I must go out there and tell Kenyans what the Minister of Public Service, Human Capital Development and Special Program, through the government of His Excellency William Ruto, is doing to them and also is planning to do to them.
But you can involve members of the public without politicking. Just the same way you are here. You haven't politicked, you've strictly stuck to policy, matters to do with what the ministry is doing.
What is politics and what is public participation? I have said again, the centrality of our constitution. There are many policies and guidelines and many registrations which has been struck out by the judiciary, by our courts, because of lack of public participation. True? So as a minister, I must go and shout that this is what we are doing as part of public participation, and engaging the public in steering this country forward. If we keep quiet, Kenyans will say, these guys are eating our food. You understand? The analogy which I
get you, the one you started with.
Whatever you are thinking to do tomorrow, what you are doing now, tell Kenyans. What you plan to do tomorrow or next month, also tell the Kenyans that, guys, even if I have not come up with something now, this is what I'm planning. Remember, this show we are talking about,
finally, yes,
it took the president of Kenya, William Ruto, more than 1 year in office, planning, working on registration, passing it through the parliament, doing the public participation, getting it right for it to be implemented. More than a year. President William Ruto, and to go out again and again, tell the Kenyans that I'm planning to do this next year. I will do this next year. So as a minister, I have to go there and tell Kenyans what the government of William Ruto is doing now, what it's planning to do tomorrow, and what it's planning to do next year. So that we can move with Kenya, so that no Kenyan can be left behind.
All right.
You understand?
I get you.
So we are not politicking. We are not politicking.
Yes.
We are doing as per the our constitution provision, which is the centrality of our constitution is public participation.
Okay.
And at the same time, we must carry the Kenyans along in this journey.
Interesting. That's an interesting argument. Well, many
time
might...
of politics is coming. 2027 is coming. We will do politics then.
Okay, 30 seconds, because our time is up. Talk to us, in 5 years or in the near future, how will the average Kenyan's experience be when it comes to accessing government services? How do you intend for these services to be given to the Kenyan people? Briefly.
In another 5 years, Kenya will be one of the nations leading the world with efficiency of public service delivery. That will be able to get government services in the most efficient ways. If you look at where we have come from in a few years ago and now, there is tremendous improvement. But we are not yet there. In another 5 years, it will be total transformation. When the president of Kenya says we are going to witness transformation of our nation in our lifetime, he means it. And not only in other sectors, in housing, in health, in roads, in security, but also in public service delivery. It will be total transformation, that you are able to get government services in a most efficient, cost-effective manner at your comfort and convenience. This is going to happen within the time that President William Ruto will be the President of the Republic of Kenya. Because we have 7 years to go.
7 years?
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Yes. It seems you might be politicking anyway. We'll hold you to your word, Bwana CS, hoping we'll have more of these conversations in order to articulate the public service matters and matters to do with special programs as well, which fall under your docket. It's a pleasure having you with us. That's how we wrap up tonight's edition of KTN Prime. Hope you're adequately informed. On behalf of the entire team, which made this production a success, we say asante sana. Enjoy the rest of your viewing. My name is Jesse Rogers. Good evening.